All right, this is Cayman with S&B, and today we're going to be installing our extra capacity replacement tank for the 2011 to 19 crew cab long bed Duramax trucks. This replaces the stock tank. OEM sending unit fits right in there, goes around the fuel filters on the 17 up trucks that have them. This is our new high flow filler neck that has a check valve built inside the tank, so you can fill up at high flow fuel stations. This is a port on the top if you wanted to use an auxiliary pump inside the bed, so you can pull fuel out of the tank to fill up skid steers or whatever equipment you might have that needs to be filled up with diesel fuel. We're going to get started right into the install. We have it on our 4-post lift, but it can be installed on the ground as well. And we'll get started. We'll be removing the skid plate if your truck came with one. This is a 13 mil. Now with the 3 bolts out on the driver's side, this just lifts over. Little hooks on the fuel tank. We'll set this aside because this will not be reused. Now we're going to be removing the hose clamp on the filler neck. All right, now once you have it loose, you can grab the filler neck and just pull it off. Now it's off. Now we'll go to the other side and get the vent disconnected. And so you can remove the vent and the electrical on top of the sending unit while the tank is still completely up. We're going to drop it down a few inches just so it's a little bit easier to video and see. So if you do have the ability to kind of suspend the tank a couple inches down, it makes it a little bit easier to get a flathead screwdriver up on top. So now we'll step to the front of the tank and we will disconnect both fuel lines. So depending on the year of the truck, these could look a little bit different. You can remove the red piece on both. Then on the back side, there'll be a button. You press the button, then you can see it start to wiggle off. Then just be careful, because this is when fuel will come drip down. So that one's disconnected. And then the top one, now both of them are disconnected. So now we're going to be removing the fuel tank straps. Before we do so, we're going to get a jack underneath to support. So if you're doing this on the ground, we've seen people put tie down straps underneath so you can find a place to hang them on both sides of the frame and then slowly loosen them up. Or if the tank's really light, you won't really need anything. So we always recommend driving until there's about nothing left in the tank. This tank's about a quarter full. Now with the 15, we're going to get on strap bolt. Then as well for the rear. Now you can come over to the driveline side. I'll show you how to remove these straps. So for these straps, just push up into that pocket, release them. Same goes for the front. Push up into the pocket, release them. Now, like we mentioned, we'll drop the tank just a few inches. Okay, now we're gonna remove the hose clamp on the vent. Now this is ready to be pulled off. Now on the other side is the electrical connector. You can see it right there. Now to remove this. Now to remove the electrical connector. Now once the lock's back, you can press the button on the top. You'll hear a little click. You can slide the electrical lock just like that. Now the tank is free to be dropped. Now you can take the tank out, slide it next to the S&B. Right away you can see the size difference and how everything's going to line up. This unit's going to drop in there, lines are going to run down and still connect to the same spot. We just have that huge increase in length because of how much more space that's unoccupied underneath the truck. Now we're going to transfer over the sending unit to the S&B tank. You can see there's 2 different arrows on the tank. The big arrow is going to be for all 11 to 16, and then this arrow is going to be for the 17 to 19 trucks. You can kind of see where the tab is even on this tank relative to where it's going to be on the S&B tank. But with a dead blow and a long pry bar, you can hit this counterclockwise. Once that's free, you can break it open fuel lines, Looks like it came in from the factory with duct tape. And then before it goes into the S&B tank, make sure you install the provided S&B O-ring. Make sure you take off the OEM O-ring. I like to pour out as much fuel as possible. Again, strip off the O-ring. Sit down just like that. A good trick is to put some downward pressure, and then downward pressure on the ring. You can get it started underneath the teeth of the receiving ring. Now with that same pry bar and dead blow, you can hit this clockwise. You can snap in these fuel lines. Now the tank is ready for install. Now before the tank's installed, we're gonna install our half strap. This goes right here on the front tank strap. Using the OEM bolt, we'll get this secure. Now with the buddy, he's gonna grab the back of the tank, grab the front, and we're gonna start lifting this up into place. So I'm gonna get this jack started underneath. You know, we can actually just rest it down on the jack. And while we have it down on the jack, you can throw your front vent over the frame. We're gonna route that back all the way to the filler. Now we can start jacking it up. So it actually looks like we're at a point here where we could even connect our fuel vent. We got that connected. Now with the flathead, get it tied down. Now that the vent's on, we'll keep going up. So now it looks like we have it close enough to where we can install the electrical as well. Now we'll keep going up. And one thing also to note is the vent. Make sure it doesn't get pinched in the cross member. Make sure it gets thrown over top. Now that we have it all in place, there is this crossover bridge line right here that gets connected to the other barb. So just get that pushed on. Now it's pushed on. Now starting with the brackets, we're first gonna start with the middle bracket, get that in the hanger. And then we include a new bolt for that half strap. So on the other side, you can get that bolt started. And now with the 19, we can get this ripped up. Now we'll grab the rear strap and get this started. What I like to do is straighten out the strap just a little bit so I can reach up. Now we'll get this bolt started. So now we're gonna get the front support top piece installed. This has the cutouts for the fuel lines. There's also a brake line up top, so we're gonna start here in front of the tank and get it started underneath the brake lines. So there's a nut on top, and that's what's kind of catching on the brake line up top. Now for that brake line, just use a little flathead screwdriver to pull up on it, just to give us space to slide the bracket underneath. So now we're gonna slide the bracket back until it falls into that gap where it's designed to go. Now we'll take the lower half, and this lower half is gonna hold the tank up in place. First, we need to get it underneath the wire loom on the outside. Now we're gonna route our breather line around the body mount all the way back to the filler. Take our zip tie. Now after you have that side, now we can get the bolt started here. Again, leaving that bolt loose so we can get this threaded in. Now we got the filler neck pushed on, and we're gonna get it tightened up. That second breather right up here on top. That's actually not gonna be able to reach, misspoke, to that zip tie, so we're gonna do its own zip tie. Now we'll tighten up this top zip tie and snip. Now I'm gonna reconnect the lines as well. You can't really mess this up. One's smaller than the other. Press it on until you hear a click. Click, and then you can put the safeties in through the back. Now the installation's complete. Now we're going to be transferring the fuel from the OEM tank to the main tank. We have a little transfer pump that we use to transfer that. You can also use a siphon. This is how the tank looks installed. It really sucks up nice and neat to the frame with minimal ground clearance loss. We just got our high capacity fuel tank installed in this LML. It's a crew cab long bed. We're testing out the new filler neck to accept the high flow fuel pump. So it's on the second setting. You can see how fast it's going and it's not shutting off, so it's working. Let us know if you have any questions, and thanks for watching.